Hi, this is John with Souffront Construction and Engineering, and today I'm going to talk to you how to prepare for your building recertification inspection, or the 40-year recertification, 30-year. Doesn't really matter the name. It's the building recertification in Miami-Dade. It's the building safety inspection in Broward. It's the milestone inspection in the entire state. But they more or less have the same principles on how to get prepared for these inspections. So I'm going to talk to you about some tips that I recommend to my clients on how they can prepare. So number one is do a proper walkthrough on your property prior to calling your engineer or architect. Why? Because at least if you did a walkthrough on your property, you can more or less get a gauge for the conditions that your property is in. Sometimes I work with property managers who are off-site. They don't visit the property daily, or when they do visit it, they're not out there looking for any deterioration or damages. So one of the first things I recommend, especially building managers that have time to prepare, is do maintenance walkthroughs, do routine walkthroughs around the property, take pictures on things that may look off, so you can start getting those items out of the way, properly done and properly repaired. That way, when the 40-year comes up, you at least have a good bulk of the items taken care of. You might not be a trained engineer to find and identify certain cracks, but you can at least start to look at things that have deterioration, mold, mildew, rust, a variety of things. So that's tip number one. Do a walkthrough and look at items that may have deterioration. That way you can start to create a checklist and start working towards getting those items fixed. Number two, vet the engineering or architectural company that's going to be performing this inspection. This is a very critical moment in the life of your building. It's one of those things that you want to make sure that you hire the right physician, because ultimately we are considered surgeons or doctors of infrastructure. So it's important that you hire the right doctor, that you know, I call it doctor, but you hire the right engineering firm, the right organization to execute this. This is not an inspection that you should win it based off of a bidding war. It shouldn't be this person charges less, or this person is a little bit cheaper. Forget about that. Think of it as if it was a surgery to your body, and how you would go about with reviewing and hiring the surgeon or the doctor. That's the way I tell my clients to approach it. You want to hire the right engineer. You want to make sure that they have a system in place, that they're methodical, that they have experience, that they've done this before. Because if they are not experienced and they don't know the proper city codes and protocols, you could be paying more in the back end rather than in the front end, paying more for more experience. So that's one of the tips that I usually give property managers. Vet your engineer or your architecture. Ask them for past experience. Ask them for reviews or references. That helps a lot. It clears a lot of the smoky mirrors. So that's my tip number two. Tip number three, once you're engaged with the engineer or architect that you're going to be hiring, make sure that you review the contract and always look at the fine print. Make sure that they include or they don't include a reinspection. In the event you have some deficiencies, you want to know what it's going to cost for them to go back out there and reinspect after repairs have been executed and permits pulled. You want to know if they've given you a credit or there's a fee. Those are very, very important things. You don't want to get caught by surprise having to pay again the fee from zero, having to pay everything again. So very important. Make sure you read your contracts. Make sure you know what's included and what's not included. Make sure that they offer all the services. I also get a lot of companies, property managers and owners and real estate investors that call me and say, well, I did the structural part with this person. I did the electrical part with this person. And I did the thermography with this person. So basically they had to, become the project manager of their building recertification. And that shouldn't be like that ultimately. You should be able to go to one firm and have all the different elements of the report hired within that firm. So that way you can save time and you have one person who you can hold accountable for your structural, for your electrical, and your infrared reports, which is one of the newer requirements here in Dade County and Broward. So make sure that in your proposal they're including all the elements required per your inspection. That would be my tip number three. And tip number four is have a sit down with your engineering team and your architectural team, whoever you decided to go with, and find out what is a recommendation versus what's a repair required, and kind of get a feel for what do we really need to do. Have them create a plan of action to happen next, so you can be properly informed on what are the necessary steps that you need to do now that you have your inspection reports. So sit down with your engineering architectural team and have a created action plan post inspection. Very, very, very important. Usually goes unseen. I see a lot of people, a lot of clients, they just give me the report, give me the report. They get the report, they submit it to the city, and they'll wait for another notice. They're just waiting to see what the city tells them. No, find out, review your report, have the team create an action plan on what's next. So yeah, you can submit it to the city, but you're also starting to work on that action plan as the city starts to review, because it could take weeks, sometimes months for the city to review. And that's time that you can gain in starting to, attack some of these deficiencies, if that was the case. Obviously, if your report yielded in no repairs required, then you just submit it to the city, and you don't have to worry about this for another 10 years. Keep doing your maintenance, keep doing your follow-ups on the property, and keep things going. That's tip number 4. So create an action plan with your team, with the engineering team or architectural team. Number 5, make sure that either you're going to submit the reports and documents to the city, or the organization that you hired submits them. Here at Souffront, we submit them for our clients just because we know the protocols of each municipality. So have that clear from the get-go. Who's going to be submitting the reports? Is it the engineering company, or is it the owner rep, property manager? Who's submitting these final deliverables? Because I've submitted deliverables to property managers in the past, and many times it stays on their desk and nothing ever happens. So it's important that you know who's going to take action and submit to the municipality, so that the review can start and the compliance could be in your favor. So that would be my final tip on how to prepare for a building recertification inspection. These are just some of the 5. There's a couple of more. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but these are the main 5 that you need to know. If you like this content, like and comment, follow us, share it with somebody that may need this help, and reach out to us. You can go to our website. You can reach out to us through social media. We're very accessible. In this video, wherever it's going to be hosted, there's going to be a link to our site or a link to our number, so you can reach us quickly and effectively. I'm John, here to help. Souffront Construction Engineering. Thank you. Bye-bye.